Aim. At its core, football is simple. Score more goals than the other team. Each team tries to move the ball down the pitch and into the opponent's goal using any part of the body except the hands or arms. Goalkeepers are the only exception, but more on them later. The team with the most goals at the end of the match wins. If both teams score the same number of goals, the game is a draw, unless it's a knockout match, in which case extra time or penalties may decide the winner. Kickoffs. Every football match starts with a kickoff from the center circle. It's also how the game restarts after someone scores a goal. At kickoff, the ball is placed right in the center of the pitch. Only one team kicks off while the other stays outside the center circle. The team that kicks off is decided by a coin toss. Kickoffs don't just happen at the beginning. You'll see them after every goal and at the start of the second half and extra time if needed. Fouls. Football might be physical, but it's not a free-for-all unless your name is Pepe. If you go in too rough or play dirty, expect the ref to blow the whistle. A foul happens when a player does something unfair or dangerous like kicking, tripping or pushing an opponent, jumping into someone recklessly, holding or pulling shirts, sliding in and missing the ball completely and making contact with the player. It's not about stopping all contact, it's about keeping the game safe and fair. Depending on how serious it is, the ref gives a free kick to the other team, or even a penalty kick if it happened inside the box. Yellow and red cards. In football, referees don't just blow whistles, they pull out cards. A yellow card is a warning. It tells a player, "That was too much, don't do it again." Things like reckless tackles, time wasting, or arguing with the ref can earn a yellow. If a player gets 2 yellow cards in one match, that automatically becomes a red card, and they're sent off. They can't be replaced, so their team plays with one less player. A straight red card is even more serious. That's for violent or dangerous behavior. Think two-footed tackles, deliberate handballs to stop a goal, or aggressive conduct. The card system keeps players in check as one bad decision can hurt the whole team. The goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is the only player on the pitch allowed to use their hands, but only in a specific area, their own penalty box. Inside that 18-yard area, they can catch, punch, or parry the ball using their hands, arms, or body to stop it from going into the net. Outside the box, they're just like any other player. No hands allowed. The goalkeeper's job? Protect the goal with everything they've got. Handball. In football, using your hands or arms to touch the ball is usually a big no-no, unless you're the goalkeeper as mentioned previously. A handball happens when a player deliberately uses their hand or arm to control, block, or direct the ball. It doesn't have to look intentional. As long as your arm is in an unnatural position or gives you an unfair advantage, it can still be called. That's why you'll see players running with arms tucked in or behind their backs when defending. The line between accidental and deliberate can be a bit blurry, but refs and VAR try to make the call. More on them later. Penalty kicks. A penalty kick is one of the biggest moments in football. It's just one player versus the goalkeeper from 12 yards out. Penalties are awarded when a foul or handball happens inside the penalty box. It doesn't matter how minor the contact is. If it's a foul in the box, the ref points to the spot. The ball is placed on the penalty mark, and only the kicker and the keeper are allowed in the area until it's taken. The goalkeeper must stay on the line until the ball is kicked. No jumping off early. It's a high-pressure moment that can change the entire game. You'll see nerves, mind games, and sometimes dramatic celebrations, or heartbreak. Some matches are even decided by penalty shootouts, where teams take turns shooting from the spot until there's a winner. Offside. The offside rule is football's most misunderstood law, but it's there to keep the game fair. A player is offside if they're closer to the opponent's goal than both the ball and the second last defender, at the moment their teammate passes the ball to them. If that happens, the ref stops play and gives the ball to the other team. It doesn't matter where they end up, it's all about where they were when the pass was made. You're not offside if you're in your own half. You're level with the second last defender. You're behind the ball when it's played. It's not a foul, just a positional mistake, but it can ruin a great attacking move. That's why attackers time their runs carefully and defenders try to step up and catch them offside. Think of it like this. You can't sneak behind enemy lines before the battle starts. Substitutions. Substitutions let teams swap out tired players or shake things up mid-game. Most leagues now allow up to 5 subs per team during a match. Once a player is subbed off, they can't come back on. Coaches use subs to bring on fresh energy, change formation or strategy, replace injured players, waste a little time when holding on to a lead. You'll see the 4th official hold up a board with the player numbers, one coming off, one coming on. The crowd usually reacts big when a fan favorite comes in or a key player is taken off. Match length and added time. A standard football match lasts 90 minutes, split into 2 halves of 45 minutes each. But if you've ever watched a game, you know it doesn't stop exactly at 90. That's because the referee adds a few extra minutes at the end of each half, called added time or stoppage time, to make up for pauses like injuries, substitutions, time wasting, VAR checks. You'll see a board showing how many minutes are added, but it's up to the ref to decide when the final whistle blows. Sometimes they let play go on a bit longer if a team is attacking or a key moment is happening. And if it's a knockout match and the score's still tied after 90, you get extra time, 2 15-minute halves, and if it's still level after that, a penalty shootout decides the winner. Throw-ins. When the ball goes out over the sideline, the long edges of the pitch, it's brought back into play with a throw-in, and it goes to the team that didn't touch it last. But there are a couple of rules you have to follow when taking one. Both feet must stay on or behind the sideline. You have to throw the ball from behind and over your head. You can't lift a foot or spin the ball like a basketball pass. If you mess it up, the other team gets the throw instead. You also can't score directly from a throw-in. Someone has to touch it first. That's why throw-ins are usually just a way to reset and rebuild an attack, unless you're watching a team with a player who can launch it like a rocket. Corner kicks and goal kicks. When the ball goes out over the goal line, the end line of the pitch, but doesn't go in the net, one of two things happens depending on who touched it last. If the attacking team touched it last, it's a goal kick. If the defending team touched it last, it's a corner kick. Goal kicks are taken from anywhere inside the 6-yard box, the small box near the goal. The goalkeeper or a defender usually kicks it out to restart play. The ball has to leave the penalty area before anyone else can touch it. Corner kicks are taken from the nearest corner flag, and they're a big scoring opportunity. You'll often see attackers crowding the box while one player swings the ball in, aiming for a teammate's head or foot. These moments can change a match, when whether it's a booming clearance from a goal kick or a last-minute corner that leads to a dramatic equalizer. The penalty box. The penalty box, also called the 18-yard box, is the large rectangle in front of each goal, and it's where a lot of the action and drama happens. This area is important for two main reasons. Goalkeepers can use their hands here, and fouls here lead to penalties. That's why defenders have to be extra careful when making tackles in this area. You'll also notice a smaller box inside the penalty area. That's the 6-yard box, where goal kicks are taken and where goalkeepers often stay during crosses or corners. Understanding the penalty box helps you see why players fight so hard to get into it, because one move inside this area can completely change a game. The advantage rule. In football, not every foul leads to a whistle right away, and that's thanks to the advantage rule. If a player gets fouled but their team still keeps control of the ball and has a good chance to keep attacking, the referee can choose to let play continue instead of stopping the game. This is called playing the advantage. It's all about keeping the flow of the match. For example, a player gets tripped but still manages to pass the ball to a teammate who's charging toward goal. The ref won't stop that. They'll wave play on and maybe even go back to give a card later. It rewards teams for staying on their feet, playing through contact, and keeping the momentum going instead of constantly restarting. You'll often see the ref stretch out both arms when this happens. It's their way of saying, "I saw the foul, but let's keep the game moving." VAR. VAR stands for Video Assistant Referee, and it's basically football's version of instant replay. A team of officials watches the match through multiple camera angles and can alert the on-field referee if there's a clear and obvious mistake. It's not used for everything, only for key moments like goals. Was there a foul or offside in the build-up? Penalties? Was it a fair call? Straight red cards. Mistaken identity if the ref sends off the wrong player. Sometimes, the ref will get a message in their earpiece and go over to check a screen at the side of the pitch. Other times, they'll trust the VAR team's input right away. It's not perfect, and it can be controversial, especially when decisions take a while or involve very tight offsides, but it's there to make big calls more accurate and fair. Next video, we are going